Hello everyone, how are you all? Welcome back to the Schematics Education with another new video, another new topic. I hope you learn something new with every video of mine, and I hope you all are good. Now, in this topic, or today, we discuss about the C-type charging port versus micro USB port, right? Why the every company switches micro USB port to the C-type charging port? Why the government mandatory C-type charging port in new devices? All that questions in your mind, I'll give you answer in this video. Also, I'm already made a video on a micro USB port, pin detail, functions, how the micro USB charging port working with each and every pin detail, how the OTG connect, right? How the data lines connect, how your phone connect with the laptop, PC or fast charging. Each and every detail in a previous video, my first lesson and a second lesson, my first video and a second video. But in this video, I'm telling you again some of information about the micro USB charging pin detail. Because who they are new in this channel, they also get information about this charging port, so they can easily understood the C-type charging port. Also, they already watch the previous video, they get revised and to understood the C-type charging port and in a better way, right? So let's start the topic with the micro USB port. What are the functions? What are the pins? After we move on to the C-type charging port, right? So let's start the video. In front of you, there is a charging port, right? How OVP IC, over voltage protection IC, your charging IC, DC to DC IC, battery connector, where the battery connects, right? Also your CPU, your master IC. Also this ground line connected to the battery line negative. I'm already connected this line. Now let's start. When you connect the charger, a 5 volt line goes to the OVP IC. This line already connected to the over voltage protection IC. This IC basically for the voltage protection. In this line you will get a 5 volt. When you check on this line, in this line you will get also some capacitors or filter cap, also 1 or 2 diodes, sometimes Zener or sometimes N junction diode, right? On a parallel line connected, you will get 5 volt here also. After this line comes out from the OVP IC and goes to the charging IC, your DC to DC IC. After this, through DC to DC IC, a line formed called VPH, right? VPH in Qualcomm, in V system in MediaTek. This line goes to the your audio IC, power section, right? Network section, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, graphics section, light section. Most of the sections need this voltage because this is our always voltage, I mean voltage VPH. I'm already described in a detail how this voltage, what about this voltage in previous video. So I'm not talking about in this video about this line, VPH line or V system line, right? How this line work, how to trace this line. If you want, go and check out the previous videos. Now a line come back from VPH and goes back to the DC to DC IC, right? This line also called V system line. After this there is a MOSFET here, right? A line generate called charge battery. Through this line your battery charge, this line connected to the battery positive. So when you disconnect the charger, through this line your phone runs. Clear? Now after this, one line, a positive, on this line you will get 5 volt, or last line or fifth line called ground. Now another a line connected to the first CPU after DC to DC IC with a one pull-up register. Another line, same, connected to the CPU and a charging IC, DC to DC IC, with a one pull-up register of register mostly had value of 1K, and this 1 kilo form. Clear? In this line you will get, on both of these lines, you will get 1.8 value voltage on both of these lines. How this line works? What are the functions? These line call DM and DP, data minus and data positive. For the names, this line working for the data transformation, right? We call also RX and TX, receiving and transmitting. Clear? Suppose when you connect the data cable through a laptop or PC, these both lines working separately and communicate with the CPU. When you connect it with the laptop, and after a notification appear on your display, phone display, and when you click it, you can file transfer or data transfer basically, or when your phone is off, you connect with the EDL point or plus minus negative point, connect on a downloading mode, and you can unlock your phone and flash your phone with a new firmware. I hope you get my point. Through these pins, DM and DP, right? In this line you will get 1.8 value. So how this line work? Suppose you connected data cable through a laptop, right? So when you check a laptop USB, there is also a 4 pins, right? Positive, negative, DM and DP. When you connect a data cable from here, DM and DP connected both these lines, and after your laptop main CPU connected to the your phone CPU. After they connected each other, they communicate from each other and data transfer or receiving. Same apply when you connect a suppose with the OTG. Now how OTG works, I will tell you on after this. When you open the OTG or your pen drive or flash drive, you will see 4 pins, same, positive, data minus, data positive and negative. For positive and negative for the voltage requirement for the circuits, for data minus and data plus for the data transfer. When you connect from these data minus, data plus, your pen drive, flash drive, MCU, or you can say main IC, CPU or GPU connected to the your master IC. After, you can read or write data on your flash drive. I hope you get my point. On data mode, your phone will be charged on a slow charging mode, 0.6 ampere, most probably. One thing. Second thing, these two lines working separately. One for receiving, one for transmitting. Read and write. Clear? When you connect the charger, these two pins shorted each other. You must have noticed that when you connect the charger and ampere USB ampere charging meter, or you can say iSense charging meter, right? Or basically a 6-port charging meter, you will say first your phone get 0.6 ampere. After a few seconds, it goes to the 1 ampere, 1.2 ampere, 1.6 or 1.8, right? Because after this sense, a charger connected and these two pins shorted together, right? And your phone enable the fast charging. your CPU sense there is a no data cable or no host mode activate. There is a charger connected. So they short each other. These pins connected each other. So your phone on fast charging mode. But when you connect the data cable, these both lines working separately. Now, if this line damage, your phone does not charge. If this line damage, your phone does not charge. But if any one of these line, DM and DP line damage, your phone on first fake charging. Now, what is fake charging? You have noticed that when a phone come to you for a charging issue, when connect a charger connected, but battery not charged. Suppose a battery on a 15% at the time when you connect a charger, a charging sign appear. A charging sound also a connect. But when you see in a ampere meter, you will see first your phone, let's say take ampere 0.6. After that, they get back 0.543, 0.2 milliampere. I am talking about the milliampere, 0.6 milliampere. Right? So there is a only icon to look like a phone charge, but there is a no charge battery or storage battery, no any current. From these two pins, most of the time, this fault appear. Suppose a phone come to you for the replacement the charging port, and any one of this line does not connect properly or track missing. You connected these lines. Most of the time your phone on a fake charging mode. Clear? So these both pins are important. How to solve the problem I'm talking about on a previous video in a complete detail. Just go and watch this video, because in this video we talk about the C-type charging port, so there is less time. So how to repair these lines, you can go and watch the previous video. Now next, these are data lines. Now a fifth line connecting to the PMI with the resistance. Now how this line work? Now I'm already tell you OTG connected. Now when you connect the OTG had suppose your PD flash drive or OTG had 4 points, positive and negative for the voltage requirements, and data minus and data plus. When you connect the OTG in your phone at 5 lines. Now how the OTG connects? In this line you will get 1.8 volt before connecting the charger or OTG any type of. But when you connect a OTG have 4 points, right? So this line directly connected or shorted to the ground line. Means this 1.8 voltage become 0 volt. So your positive connected to the positive, data minus connected to the data minus, data positive connected to the data positive, and your ground connected to the ground pin. 4 lines connected with the 4 lines. Now your 1.8 become ground, or you can say 0 volt. Through this, when 1.8 volt are ground, your IC, any IC working on a binary language like this, 1010, right? So through IC, first there is a 1.8 volt. Now in this line a 0 volt. How? Your pen drive has it. When your pen drive connect these both lines through pen drive or OTG connecting together, that's why your 1.8 volt connecting to the 0. Right? Now your IC sense before connecting any device. Here is a 1.8 value. Now something connects, so your voltage on it become a ground or logic low. Before logic high 1.8 volt, now here is 0 volt. So something is connect, mainly for OTG connections. So this IC activate the host mode. It means OTG mode. Right? Now from here another question comes. When this 1.8 line had ground to 0 volt, OTG connects. Clear? But how the OTG works? You will see when you connect the OTG connector to your phone charging port or red light blinking on your OTG. Also, if your OTG needs some voltage to run, right? Some voltage to run, because when you connect this OTG or flash drive with your laptop, clear, or PC, through positive line, you get a value or voltage required to fulfill. Now in your phone, this line for the charging the battery or to run the phone. When you disconnect the charger on this line, you will get nothing, a 0 volt. After connect the charger, you will get here 5 volt. Clear? But on a laptop or PC case, you get a 5 volt on a positive line. So how this line working? How the OTG working? How the voltage requirement of pen drive or flash drive fulfill? Now this is a new question. Now I'm telling you. First I'm clear this all thing. I hope you will understood what I'm saying to you step by step. I'm taking some time, or basically I'm giving you full information in a detail. That's why I'm making a lengthy video. Now talk about the OTG. When you connect the OTG, right? OTG needs voltage to run, or voltage requirement. So OTG positive, OTG negative, and DM and DP connecting it. This line connecting each other. Right? Negative to negative and positive to positive. Now, how the positive OTG activate? This light blinking. So when you connect the OTG, this line 1.8 goes to 0 volt. Means logic high to logic low. Your IC sense, clear? Right? Your charging IC or DC to DC IC sense, or something is connected or become a host mode, activate a host mode. A line goes to the CPU to activate the host mode. Clear? Now, through this point, when you remove the charger, your phone run on a battery. Here is a MOSFET. So this MOSFET working reverse. Now your battery same at a time run the phone. Also same through battery power through this line on OTG connections, through IC, through OVP. This line get a 5 volt here to run the OTG. I hope you will get it. I'm telling you again. When you connect the OTG requirement are near about 5 volt. Right? Now OTG connected, so there is a no, right? Now your phone run on a battery mode. So there is a MOSFET reverse working. Your phone run on a battery. Now, same voltage through a MOSFET goes back to the B bus line. How? When these lines shorted, your 1.8 going to 0. Your host mode activate to IC sense and give it a signal to the CPU. After this IC working reverse, your battery voltage converted to the V bus line. Now your battery voltage fulfill the requirement of the through V bus line or OTG. OTG requirement fulfilled by the this V bus line through battery voltage. Right? I hope you get my point. If you have any doubt, just give a comment. So how these pin working? If you want more information about this charging check, you get watch a previous video and you will have more information about charging section, about micro USB port. Now I'm giving you this information because on a C-type charging port, we just after a C-type, let's move on to the C-type charging port. You will see a positive line, a negative line, a DM, DP, also a line with a new name connect on a OTG connections. So let's move on to the C-type port, right? Now a question comes, why companies switch over the micro USB to C-type port? The answer should be first, the charging and data speed through C-type port is faster. Also, it's connected from both sides, right? When you turn, or you can say when you flip the data cable from 180 degree, so it's working from both directions. Also, the C-type port has supported PD. You must have heard that a PD charger. What is PD? In USB 3.0 or C-type port. PD means power delivery. A normal charger or C-type port working on a 5 volt, right? 1 to 2 ampere. In latest phones, you will see they support 20 watt, or you can say 120 watt charger. How? What is the PD role? I'm just talking about when I'm telling you a pin detail. When the pin comes, I'm telling you whole detail. How the PD support, which pin supported PD, power delivery, and what is the effect totally. Now also the C-type port accept alternative mode like Thunderbolt. Now alternative mode like Thunderbolt, you will get a C-type port on both sides. I will explain to you. First, you will see the latest cables with your phone are C-type cables from both end. From both end, you will see the C-type connector. Now, same in latest devices, your laptop, even Apple, a C-type port replaced by the USB. Or you can say when you connect two devices with the C-type port from both ends, this is called Thunderbolt. From data speed in Thunderbolt up to 10 Gbps to 20 Gbps. Now C-type port is versatile, or you can say extremely versatile from these points I'm already told you just before. That is why it's mandatory for the new devices by the every government worldwide. Whatever latest phones, or you can say devices, or laptop, or phones, or tablets, all have a C-type port. Even Apple has shifted to the C-type port in latest 15 Pro Max, 15 series. Now another question comes, you must have seen a various C-type port. When you open any Android phones, you will see the various C-type port. Some had 12 pins, some had 16, 18 and maximum 24 pins. So what are the differences? Basically a C-type cable connected any C-type port because the external structure are same. So connected any C-type port, right? Whether it's 12 pin, 16 pin, 18 pin or 24 pin. It doesn't matter. So question is, why the companies use different type of charging port, a C-type port? Why don't they provide a same charging port from all phones? Same pins like 24 pins for all the phones, just like a micro USB pin detail. In micro USB port, you will see all the companies 5 pin micro USB port. But in C-type port, you will see the differences. Now the answer should be to save the cost. First, to save the cost and fix on, easy to fix on the motherboard. A simple line question, a simple line answer. But when you go into the details on this answer, take first easy to fix on motherboard. We can understood this thing. A lesser pin, the lesser pin is easier compared to more pins. It's the right thing. But on the other hand, saving the cost, in my opinion, how did companies save money? Because there are not too much difference on a C-type port. As a technician, if I'm buying a C-type ports for the different varieties, there is a not too much differences when I'm buying a C-type port, a 16 pin, 18 pin and 24 pin. For that companies, there is a not too much differences. But why they still don't use a fix a 24 pin? Or I think you get my point. But for the answer is, if the company uses a 24 pin with all pins working, right? Just like use in a flagship phones or premium quality phones. If they uses same working pin in economical phones, then the companies had lot of changes made for that. They will have to put a CPU, a high brand CPU for this, because in a 16 or 18 pin or 24 pin, USB 2.0 for the data lines working, but in a 24 pins you will see a USB 3.1 or 3.2 data line working. So what are the difference? We just talk about in few seconds. After this, the cost will be increased for these things, not by the your charging port. I hope you will understood this thing. These questions are in my mind, so I am explaining to you. 24 pin C-type port, so you can understood each and every pin, how function, how they working. So when you go to the schematic or diagram, what are the function of any pin? Let's move on to the pin detail. Now C-type port, in front of you there is a picture, a C-type pin configuration. When you flip the cable on a 180 degree, similar pins will be connected. Like for example, there is in a A2 data pin TX1 plus. When you flip the cable, it's connected with the on a TX2 plus with the data pin. Suppose positive line voltage V bus line. In this point, you will get 5 volt, right? When you flip the cable, this A4 connected on a P4. So I hope you get my point. I'll give you these 24 pins details from A1 to A12, B1 to B12. How these pin working, what are the function of each and every pin. So when you go to the schematics, you will be understood how these line work and what are the function of these line or these pins, which are the data pins, which ground and which are the voltage pin. Now there is a lot of difference between USB micro port and C type. So let's start with the ground. You will see A2, right? A2, B12, A12 and P1. These 4 pins are ground pins, right? From the both ends and upper and bottom sides. So when you flip the cable on a 180 degree, connected with the ground pin. Clear? After this, you can see the B bus line. A4, B9, A9 and P4. Same 4 pins for ground and 4 pins for P bus. Right? Now next, you know about ground pins and V bus pin. How it works? I just give you a detail in a micro USB charging port. This is a voltage bus line, a voltage line fulfill the voltage requirements, and this is the ground. So both are working together, right? Now there is one thing here which we discuss further. You will see in a micro USB charging port working on a 5 voltage and 1 and 2 ampere. Sometime 1 ampere charger, sometime companies provide a 2 ampere charger. But nowadays you will see companies provided for super speed charging 120 watt charger, right? For the latest phone supported C-type port like Turbo, Super Walk, these type of the names for the super fast charging enable. Some companies provide 120 watt. Now 120 watt equal 120 20 multiplied by 6. 20 is a voltage and 6 is ampere. 20 volt 6 ampere, or some 20 volt 5 ampere 100 watts. Here a 100 watt charger for the fast charging. You will see nowadays companies give this type of the charger. Also a C to C cable. In earlier companies give you a USB to C or USB to micro, but nowadays these company introduce a new cable C to C for a better high speed data transfer, also with the high speed charging. So C to C. Now what are the functions? Now how these things works, I am explaining you. But before we see D plus and D minus. B7, this pin A6, A7, B7, B6, D plus, D minus for the data pins for data transmission. I am already explaining you these pins, how this pin working for the data transmission, right? On a micro USB port, USB 2.0, right? How these pins connect with the laptop and PC. Also the flash drive, pen drive, USB 2.0, these pins. Data speed 640 Mbps, right? 640 Mbps. Now a ground pins, right? Also a voltage pins. These 4 pins, same as like working like a micro charging port. Ground, voltage, D plus and D minus. Data pins for D plus and D minus, data speed up to 640 Mbps. Clear? Now I am not explaining these pins because I am already explaining. Now after this you will see A2, A3, B11, B10, B10, B11. These 4 pins are also a data pins, right? These 4 pins working in a pairs. As I already told you, D plus and D minus also call RX and TX in a micro USB port. When I am explaining to you, I have already explained to you. Data pins also called receiving and transmitting, RX and TX. So same, you will see RX and TX. But from here, TX1 plus, TX1 minus, RX1 plus, RX1 minus. These pin called RX and TX. Here the update version 1 plus, add on 1 minus, right? For these 4 pin working in a pair for RX1 plus, RX1 minus for receiving, TX1 plus, TX1 minus for transmitting. Clear? Now these pins, data speed up to 5 Gbps. Now here these pin 640. Clear? Mbps. These pins used for the faster data transmission. Now you will see here also A10, A11, B3, B12, RX2 minus 2 plus, TX2 minus, TX2 plus. These pins introduced later on. These pins also working in a pair, right? Now you will see in every 24 pins, every 24 charging port, you will see these 8 pins, TX1 plus series and plus 2 series, total 8 pins, right? Now through these pin introduced, after your data speed up to 20 Gbps, right? Now when you connect to the C type to C type from both ends, on a C type, you speed up to 20 Gbps. How? I will tell you. Working as a Thunderbolt alternative, a Thunderbolt from both ends, a C type port. Clear? How these pin working? Are TX1 plus, TX1 minus, RX2 1 plus and 2 minus. Also, you know the speed, right? Now next, the pin remainings CC1, CC2 and SB1 and SB2. First, we talk about CC1 and CC2. These pins are very important pins. Now, what is the mean CC1 and CC2? Now, some calls configuration channel, and some people calls channel communication. Now, let's talk about the CC1 and CC2. CC1 and CC2 means channel configuration, right? Also called channel communication. And some people call charging connect. Now, what are they means? You mostly heard the PD connect charger. You mostly heard this name, a PD charger. Now, what is the link of a PD charger to CC1 and CC2? I will tell you. Through this pin, USB power delivery communication, you can say PD status, power delivery status. Now, what is this? Through this pin measure your voltage and current from your charger, like your source, right? Suppose your mobile phone or your cell phone is a sink, right? And your charger is a source. So, through source to sink through this pin, a PD status, power delivery status, how many voltage and current ampere. I'm explaining you in a clear way. Now, earlier phones, you will see working on a 5 volt. Let's say, first take example. When you connect a charger on a micro USB, which had micro USB charging port installed. Let's suppose you connect ampere, USB ampere charger. So you can see the how many ampere consume. Let's iSense charger, right? When you connect a charger, first charger takes 0.6 milliamp, right? After few seconds, it goes to the 1 ampere, 1.2 ampere, 1.6, 1.8 ampere. Am I right? But voltage still on 5 volt. So your charger working on or your phone on a high speed 5 volt, 1.8 ampere consume. If you had a good phone with a micro USB port. Sometime it's, let's say, 2.0 ampere, 2 ampere fully consumed for fast charging. Now, when the companies introduce C-type port, when you connect a C-type phone charger, first charger consume 0.6 milliampere. After few seconds, it goes to the 1 ampere or 1.2 ampere. After few seconds, when everything is okay, it goes to the like 3 ampere or it's directly goes to the 5 volt to 9 volt 2 ampere. You will see this, some phones 12 volt 2 amp or 3 amp. Before it's only 5 volt charger. Nowadays you will see charger consumption by 9 volt, 12 volt. In some phones which had PD structure installed, or you can say they goes up to the 20 volt for fast charging. I've already told you companies introduced 120 volt charger for high speed. Clear? Now how these things working, how to your phone increase voltage. Now when you connect the company charger, or you can say PD charger, power delivery charger, right, through CC1 pin, CC pin, first 5 volt goes to the your phone. After, when everything is okay, suppose your phone capable on a 9 volt, your phone, or you can say your integrated circuit IC working on a 9 volt or 12 volt, then a signal goes to the charger on a source. You can say charger as a source or your phone as a sink. So after this, through a signal come from your charger, and those two signals, let's say handshake, your phone requested 9 volt or 12 volt for fast charging. Your charger, a PD charger basically, a total value up to 20 volt, right? Sorry, 20 voltage. Let's say your phone working on a 12 volt. Your phone has a request to produce a 12 volt. So your charger 5 volt convert to the 12 volt and give it to your phone for fast charging. Let's suppose your phone working on a 20 volt. Then this charger has a PD circuit installed, power delivery circuit installed, right? Your phone working on a 12 volt. So your phone receiving a 12 volt from your PD charger. PD charger already installed a PD structure or circuit. So it produce a 20 voltage, right? And give it to your phone. After your phone, enable the fast charging. So you can see how your phone changing ampere or voltage. You will see in a USB ampere meter, right? I'm explaining you all these features in a charging section. When I'm introduce a charging section of let's say 2 charging IC, how 2 charging IC working, then I'm explaining to you a CC1 and CC2 basically in a proper way. Now you would be understood about CC1 and CC2, how these pin working, or PD delivery status. No, right? If you have any confusion, just comment me. I will explain to you in other diagrams or in other charging section in a proper detail. Now, last pin, SBU1 and SBU2, B8 and A8. This pin called side based, or through this pin you can play your audio and video output from HDMI cable. Like your HDMI cable connect to your TV, right? After the other end or a C-type port, right? Connect your phone. Through this pin, your audio data, right? Your music and your video play in your TV and other sources, right? Let's easy for you. In earlier, you get a 3.5 audio jack from the companies, but nowadays a C-type charging port only. There is a no 3.5 audio jack. So you can connect a audio connector, a C-type audio connector, connect with the wired earphone or your headphones wired, and you can listen to your music. This will all happen through this pin SBU1 and SBU2. It's convert your audio or video output form, right? Or you can say it's convert your audio video data transmission. Now in a micro USB jack, I'm explaining a ID pin for working like a host, right? Your phone work as a like a host. You can connect your flash drive or any USB devices. So same, your SBU1, this pin also working like a ID pin, similar, become a host. Through this pin, you can connect your flash drive or pen. I hope you get my point, and in your mind, all these pins are clear. How these all pins are working. Ground, a normal TX1 plus and TX1 minus for the data pins, speed up to 5 Gbps. Positive voltage requirement for CC1. This is one for the PD status, power delivery. From this pin, it sends voltage and ampere. Also, which charger had connected or communicate with the PD charger, right? Now D plus, D minus, data positive, data minus are USB 2.0 data transfer pins, speed up to 640 Mbps. SBU1 side based as like a ID pin or working for the audio and video data transformation, right? Same voltage. Now RX2, RX2 plus 2, these two also are data pins. These 4 pins working as a pair, these 4 pin working as a pair. Now these 8 pins you will see in a 24 pin jack mostly, and these 8 pins data speed up to 10 Gbps to 20 Gbps, right? Now these are ground pins. I hope you will understood each and everything, each and every pin with the detail, right? Now let's go to the hardware solution for I'm giving you information. Now let's see the C-type connector difference, 16 pin, 18 pin and 24 pins. I'm opening a Borneo, right? In Borneo, I'm opening a 3 type of some model with the different companies like Redmi Note 7 Pro, Samsung A50, right? And OnePlus 70, your flex, your charging port on a connected on a flex. So you can see there is a Note 7 Pro Redmi. Now you can see here there is a 16 pin charging port. This is a 16 pin charging port. Now in Samsung you will see a 18 pin charging port. Clear? On OnePlus you will see there is a 24 pin charging port. 12 pin in front of you, right? 12 pin under the flex, solder with flex, right? You can see here there is a 12 pin, right? On upper side, on bottom side you will see another 12 pin. The hidden 12 pin you will see there soldering with the flex. So total 24 pins. Now what are the differences? I will tell you. As earlier I'm giving you all detail about the C-type port on 24 pins, each and every pin. Now let's go to the 16 pin first. In front of you in your screen there is a 16 pin charging connector like a Samsung 16 position right here. Now you will see a ground, A1 and a B12. After this TX series or data line, high speed signals super speed pin removed. Now it means you will see there is a transmitting 1 plus 1 minus, receiving 1 plus 1 minus, also the 2 series 2 plus 2 minus, transmitting and receiving both 8 pins for the high speed data for 5 Gbps to 8 Gbps. Oh, sorry, 10 Gbps transmission data. These pins are removed, right? Only for the data pins, you will see the D plus and D minus, like a micro USB or 640 Mbps speed. 4 pins are ground for both ends. 4 pins are voltage bus for voltage requirements. Total 8 pins. Now CC1, 2 pins, and SBU2, 2 pins, 4 pins. Now 12, 4 pins for the data. Now suppose there is a 18 pin. Now if a 18 pin, then 1 pin ground would be extra on both sides. I hope you will get understood. Only a 24 pin of flagship phones or premium phones you had high speed data connectivity. Other all type of C port charging jack you get a fast charging, right, enable, but our data speed, data transmission speed are normal because there is a this pins for the data transmission, right? For fast charging, a CC1 or CC2, right? Through this pin, if your phone capable working on a 12 volt after some process, through this pin on a PD charger, they will produce a 12 volt, working on a 12 volt. Your charger produce 10 volt and your phone working or charging on a 12 volt. Now SBU2 and SBU1, these pin for the audio and video data transformation, plays a music with the audio connector, a C-type audio connector, basically also we working like a ID pin as a host. Clear? Your V bus pin for the voltage bus for voltage requirements, and the last in ground. I'm giving you all details, so I hope you get understood about how these pins, how C-type charging pin details. And if you have any doubt, then comment us. Thank you for watching. See you in next vision about the differences of the charging port.